Dr. G, you're here as a candidate for delegate, and you've expressed some concern about the big, beautiful bill that just passed and its impact to the CNMI. And so, what is your message to the community on that?
Well, I definitely applaud the effort to stimulate economic investments through tax incentives, tax breaks, and supporting small businesses. But the cuts to programs and the silence on specific provisions that benefit the CNMI concern me. I understand and I acknowledge that the CNMI is not part of the broader official Medicaid program. We're on a different block grant situation along with the other territories. But there was nothing mentioned in the bill about the parity that the territories have long struggled for when it comes to Medicare and Medicaid. Although the $1 trillion cut may not directly affect the CNMI and the territories, it will affect the healthcare industry in a way that will increase costs for the CNMI and the other territories. So I have concerns about that. But my broader concerns about the big, beautiful bill is that other territories were able to secure provisions in the bill. Guam got $200 million in defense infrastructure spending. Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands were able to restore a coverall tax for rum, which generates millions of dollars annually for those islands. Even the American Samoa was able to secure over $200,000 from the CDC. But if you look at the bill, there's almost no mention of the CNMI. And so it just concerns me because I want to be sure that the CNMI is not left behind in these critical pieces of legislation that affect the nation and the territories.
And obviously, you're on the campaign trail now, and King Hines came out with a statement to the media about how the new federal law preserves key NMI programs. You're saying that's not enough?
Well, it preserves the NMI programs within the broader context of the territories. And so the $1 trillion cut to Medicaid will not affect Medicaid in the territories. But it doesn't address the parity issue that we've been struggling with as territories. And it also does not include the CNMI in any special provisions. Guam getting $200 million in defense infrastructure spending is something we in the CNMI desperately need right now, and we're not getting that.
And so you think there was a missed opportunity here, or what should have been done is more advocacy? Or?
Yeah, I know that, as if I were given the humbling privilege of being the delegate, I would fight tooth and nail to ensure that the CNMI was included in some of these provisions within the bill. Because this is a historic bill, and I acknowledge that. The child tax credits will benefit us, but we needed additional benefits that will help people right now in the CNMI that are struggling.
All right, and so I did also want to follow up, since you've announced your campaign, have you had a chance to speak with or meet with the Congresswoman King Hines since then?
Yeah, Kim and I are old friends, old colleagues, and most recently we had a chance to interact at the Liberation Day parade, and we went up to each other. She was at the head of the parade. I was at one of the booths, and so she stepped out of her golf cart. I walked onto the parade route, and in front of everyone. And I know there are a lot of photos and videos circulating about this. We just hugged and we said, "Hey, man, nothing but love." And kind of the sentiment that we've shared with each other is that elections come and go, but relationships last, and that's something both of us remain committed to honoring.
All right. Anything else you'd like to share that I didn't ask about? As that was, I believe, this was one of your first campaign statements after.
Yeah, one other provision that concerns me is that the Guam and the U.S. Virgin Islands were able to ensure that they got basically cost adjustments for their food assistance programs, so that it reflects the impact of inflation, supply chain challenges, our remote location that increases the cost of food, and we didn't secure similar protections, and everyone's feeling it. It's not just when eggs go up; it's everything across the board. So while Guam and the U.S. Virgin Islands residents are going to be able to pay less for food, we are going to continue to pay high prices, and then that concerns me at a time when the economy is struggling and people are struggling.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.